Oh, that was a really big ant. Oh my gosh, why? I'm just gonna sit like this. Hey everyone, it's Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty. Welcome to episode 233 of the Love and Stitches podcast. I am coming to you again from Nashville, Tennessee, here in the yard at my parents' house. We're starting early this morning before it's too hot. Honestly, by the end of this episode, I might have my hair up because it's a little bit warm. Okay. I have so much to share with you project-wise this week. I've been making some big decisions on some of my longer-term projects. Ow, I feel like bugs are eating at me. And I've finished some things. I have cast on a couple of new things. I'm gearing up to go on vacation this next week, which brings me to my next point. Next week, there will not be a regular podcast episode, but there will be a video. Ken and I sat down yesterday to record a Q&A video. We got a bunch of questions from Instagram, and these questions are mostly related to travel, national parks, van life. There's a little bit of yarn stuff and just more like getting to know us, and then answering some questions about what our plans are after we finish our 50 states journey. So that will be coming up next Thursday, and then we'll be right back into resuming regular Thursday podcasts. There will not be a video next week on Tuesday, so just plan for that. We're doing a little bit of a vacation from videos during our vacation. We're trying to figure out everything that we can get filmed, finished, and edited before we leave in just a couple of days. And it looks like we're just not going to get a chance to have a video for next Tuesday, but that's okay. Again, we'll be back to regularly scheduled content after our vacation. Okay, I think that is everything for the beginning of this episode. We have a lot of projects to talk about, so let's get right into it. I have finished my Sporti Shrug, aside from cutting these last two ends and weaving them in, because I was trying to decide on the length that I wanted for the sleeves. Okay, so this is the last time you have to hear about this project. It's been going on for what, 2 months? Actually, I should have seen. It's always interesting. Let me try to pull this up real quick. It's always interesting to see how long a project actually takes from start to finish. Like, I am working multiple projects at a time. I'm obviously not just doing one project, but I kind of have one main project going at a time. So I cast this on April 27th, and I finished it just a couple of days ago. So, you know, just over 2 months, like 8 weeks maybe, for this project. And I'm really happy with how it came out. I should go ahead and just weave in these ends. I'm probably not going to block it again. So last week I had made it to the point of where I needed to start these thumb holes, and I didn't have much more to do, but it took me like quite a few days to figure out how long I wanted everything to be. So this is a Sporti Shrug by Jacqueline Sayslak. Would highly recommend this pattern, and honestly any of their patterns, because of the way they're written so well. You can customize them. They're just really, really interesting. But I made this so that I could take it hiking and wear it with tank tops just like this when I start out hiking for the day. And then when I warm up too much, I can take it off, and it's a really small piece that doesn't make me too hot. It's also, the yarn that I used is not superwash, which I feel like just makes it a little more breathable. So I use Ritual Dyes Maven, which is their 2-ply fingering weight Rambouillet, and the color is Chromite. And I use 3 skeins, but not in their entirety. So here are the 2 balls that are still attached to the sleeves. So a little bit of that left. I still have a whole swatch, and this was the ball from the body. So quite a bit of yarn still left over. Don't know what I'm going to do with this leftover yarn. Probably nothing at the moment. Oh, my hair clip. Good to know. I was wondering where that was. I need to clean this bag out. There's needles, there's try-it-on tubing, all of that. I'll hopefully do that today. But anyway, I was at the point of the thumb hole last week, and the pattern actually said to go for 3 inches here, which would bring it about up to right here. And I just didn't think I was going to like that. I thought that was going to bother me. So I spent a few days like knitting a little bit and then waiting and then seeing. And I actually had knit beyond this. I had knit like 5 more rows and I tried it on and I thought, you know what? I just don't like that. Like I could fold back, you know, if I didn't want it to be super long. If it was a little longer, I could fold it back, but I also didn't think I would enjoy that either. So I just decided to kind of stop where I felt like I was going to be comfortable stopping, and I can always change this at another time if I really need to. So that's what I might do. So I'm happy with this now. I needed to like put it on one more time and I just haven't in the last few days, but I think it's good. I can also take this off and I can fold them back as such here if I don't want to have the thumb hole, which is also nice, like for knitting and as I get warmer. So I think anything beyond that would have been like a lot, right? A lot of bulk. So I am very happy with how this came out. I am proud of myself for sticking through to the end. Like I bought this yarn with the intention of making this project, and then I did. So I feel really good about that. I feel like I'm learning so much about myself and my projects and what I like, and actually like choosing yarn and projects for myself that I actually want. So now I just have to see if I wear it when it gets colder again, when we get to colder climates, because right now I am sweating in this, so I really want to take it off. Well, I just recorded 2 whole portions without using my microphone, so I'm gonna go back and record those now. Maybe a little faster than I originally did, so I apologize. So this project, I refinished this, what is it called? Knit e-reader cozy. Oh my goodness. This is for my mom. And originally I had an I-cord on the edge of this and I just didn't really like how it looked. And I tried it on my mom's Kindle and it just didn't look right. It didn't quite fit. It wasn't tall enough either. So I took it out this week and I added a few rows and then I did this finishing, which I really, really enjoy. I did this on my second knit e-reader cozy and it just came out super, super nice. So this is kind of a doubled over, like fold over hem, which we love. And it doesn't need anything. Like you can put elastic in it, I guess, if you need to, but going down a needle size and then doing the bind off really, I think, helps to keep it from, like, keep the Kindle from falling out. So that went really, really nicely. I used Super Glow yarn, DK, and the color Rain Glow. Super, super pretty, and I have quite a bit of it left over, which is really, really nice. I'm hanging on to DK weight scraps for now, and we'll see what happens in the future. Skin. Let's talk about it. We all have it, and for some of us, it can be tricky to care for. In comes Proven, customized skincare made easy. Proven is really geeky and really cool because of their 3-minute skin genome quiz. It takes into account everything about you and your environment, like skin concerns, lifestyle, humidity, water hardness, and UV index. Then you receive your personalized kit, which comes with a custom cleanser, custom day moisturizer with SPF, and a custom night cream. As sort of a low maintenance girly, I found it really confusing and overwhelming looking at tons of skincare videos and different articles. And I just love that I can keep it really simple with Proven because there's only 3 things to put on and it's customized for me so I don't have to decipher what is right. See, it says my name right here. I've been using Proven for over a year now and my top concern has always been acne. Proven helps keep my skin calm and reduce hyperpigmentation, and about 6 months ago, I was able to go off of my topicals as well. With my custom night cream, I'm noticing more hydration and just more of a softness to my skin. And I would not go a day without using my day moisturizer because SPF is so important. But I think my favorite thing about Proven is that it can adapt with you. Each set lasts me about 6 to 8 weeks, but as the seasons change or my environment changes, I can actually go online and easily adjust my formula to suit me better. If you're ready to give Proven a try yourself, click the link in my description box and use my code to get your first personalized Proven system for $99 for a limited time. This represents a 50% discount off the retail price. Thank you to Proven for being a returning sponsor of the podcast. And now, back to the video. Next up are my Sock Week socks. So these socks, I had almost finished the first one last week, and now I am all done with it. And these are really, really fun. This is a gradient from Knit Circus, and I believe there's still more of this yarn left, and there's time to get it before Sock Week. So if you like it, make sure you go in order. I have the Sock Week information down below. So Knit Circus Greatest of Ease base is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. I got the medium size set, and the colorway is called Wanderlust. So I started these toe up as they recommend for your first gradient set, because if I had started from the top, there's no way I would have made a leg quite this long. This is not my normal length leg, and I wanted to go through the entire gradient and use all of the yarn. So if I had started at the top, I probably would have made my like standard leg, which was quite a lot shorter, and then I would have gotten to the toe and I wouldn't have gone through all the colors, and I would have had to end it, because you can't just make your foot longer, like that's not going to fit, but you can make the leg longer. So I started from the toe up. There's really no pattern to this. I did do a fish lips kiss heel, but other than that, it's just kind of my usual like numbers and everything. So fish lips kiss heel. And then for the leg, I did ribbing, a 2x2 rib, because I knew it was going to be really tall, and I wanted it to fit all parts of my leg, from the skinny part around my ankle to the thicker part where it starts to go up to my calf. So I just kept trying this on the entire time I was making it, and I never needed to add any stitches. Like, it continued to fit. It was starting to get to the point where my calf gets a lot wider, and if I had to keep going, then I might have needed to add some stitches, but I didn't need to. Somebody last week, I think, commented on the episode and asked about like, where would you add stitches, or how would you add stitches in the leg if you needed to? And my plan, though not fully fleshed out, was to, hang on, let me see if I can get this up here, was to place them in the back. So here's the heel, in the back center of the leg somewhere, either in a purl column or a knit column. I would kind of branch it off, and I would add 4 stitches at a time, since I have a 4-stitch repeat with the knit 2 purl 2. So I would add 4 stitches at a time, maybe over like 2 to 3 rows, and it would kind of branch out from one of those columns. I don't know exactly how I was going to do it. I was going to figure it out when I got there, but I didn't end up needing to, so that's quite okay. Now, I have started the second sock, and this is how the yarn comes. It comes in 2 identical cakes, already wound up and ready for you to go, and they match exactly, which is super nice. So started out my second sock. I am just over halfway through the foot here, actually more than halfway through, I think like 2/3 of the way through the foot. So even though I wanted to have this done so that I could start another pair of socks for vacation, I'm kind of glad that I don't. I think I might just bring 2 pairs of socks with me, because this has been really great for knitting and reading. It'll be really great for vacation knitting and reading, which will be really, really nice. I got a bunch of books this past week. I got the newest Emily Henry and Abby Jimenez books, which are like romantic comedies, and I love both of the authors. And then I finished the second Crescent City and immediately needed to start reading the third one, because wow, just wow. If you're reading any of that, A Court of Thorns and Roses, Throne of Glass. Like, I haven't read Throne of Glass yet. That's next on my list, but boy, they're amazing. They're a slog in the beginning, but they're so worth it. So I'm reading that right now, so I have lots and lots to read. So that's mostly when these are getting worked on, is in the morning when I'm doing knitting and reading, or if I need a little project for out and about. So it's not gonna hurt to have a little extra portable knitting on my vacation. So I think I mentioned earlier that I'm making some bold moves with some of my projects, although it might have been in a portion that I recorded without my microphone, so I'm not sure if that made it in here. But basically, having now about 10 days out of the van, not traveling, being stationary, being able to get some work and cleaning and project decisions under my belt has led me to feel confident enough to make some project decisions that were kind of, I don't think they were weighing on me, but they were just like not sitting right with me. I try to, like, really hard now with my projects, if I'm not interested in working on them, I try to examine why that is and make a decision either to change something about the project or to stop working on the project entirely, because life is just too short to knit and crochet on things that I don't enjoy for long. Like, I can understand sometimes there's a purpose to it, like I want to make a gift for somebody, or I'm super close to finishing something and I do like the end product. But for the most part, if I'm not enjoying working on a project, it's not worth it to me. So that brings me to my blanket of knowledge, which I am enjoying working on. But there was a part of it that was just not working for me, I guess. Like, I just had a lot of resistance to working on it. I think because it's complicated and I'm learning a lot of new things. So let's explain the project first. So this is the blanket of knowledge. There's a whisker in there. It's super fun. It is a blanket subscription where you get a new yarn every month and a new part of the pattern. There's a knit version, there's a crochet version, there's 8 different color stories to choose from, and these come from Tracy of Hot Springs Fiber Company. So very, very fun. Love it very, very much. And I have been enjoying it up until this point, but there were some things that were frustrating me with it. And it's a me thing, it's the pattern. The pattern is just like difficult for me because it's all new crochet stitches that I'm learning. So here's what mine's looking like so far. This is February, and I had finished this last week. So if you watched last week's episode, you have already seen this. And I started working this week on March's pattern, and I was really, really struggling with it. The pattern, I will say, I feel like if you are an experienced crocheter, you're not gonna have too much trouble with it. But as somebody who doesn't do a lot of crochet patterns, it's been really extremely challenging for me, and that's okay. Like, I want to expand my crochet knowledge, and that's my whole goal around this project. So with that in mind, knowing my goal is to get better at crochet and learn new stitches, I was kind of feeling like, you know, this construction of the blanket is not working for me. I wonder if there's a better option. So I didn't realize this until I was texting with Tracy and asking some questions about the pattern because I was having difficulty with it. And she said, you know, we have a Facebook group. And I'm like, no, I did not know that. How did I not know that? So there is a Facebook group for the Blanket of Knowledge. So if you are working on the pattern, I would highly recommend joining. It's just like Blanket of Knowledge Hot Springs Fiber Co. or something like that. And in that group, they discuss, you know, help each other with the pattern, show off pictures, and it's a really supportive group. Both the knitting and crochet are discussed there, so it's really, really great. Now, I'm super behind, so I didn't really want to barge into the group saying, hey, help me with March. So I started scrolling back through and finding, you know, different people talking about it, showing their pictures, and that helped a lot. And what I saw several people doing is the square option on this blanket. So this blanket is so versatile. There's so many different ways to customize it. And I decided to do the strip option because I thought that would be a great way to just, you know, have my blanket continuously working. If I did squares, I would have to join them at the end, which I don't really want to do because I really just want to practice crochet. But then it kind of clicked for me this past week. Like, if my whole point of this is mastering crochet, one, I need it to be more bite-sized because it's taking a lot of brain power and I need it to be a little bit of a smaller project. So a square actually would serve that purpose, that goal, even better. And two, I want to get accurate and better at crochet, and having like so many stitches for a new stitch pattern really doesn't work out for me because I can't do the counting and the practice that I need when I have, you know, 200 and something stitches. So then I'm doing a swatch and then I'm doing the project. And then by that point, I'm like, I'm over the stitch. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I thought, you know what? I think doing squares is going to work so much better for me because by the end of a month, I feel confident in the stitch. So making a second or third square, I don't know how many squares I can get out of my yarn, is not really going to be a problem. But getting through that first one, I feel like having it be fewer stitches, I can get it done a little bit more timely, which will be good and encouraging for me as a learning the new stitch. And I can also be more accurate because I don't have as many stitches. So if I need to rip back a row, it's not a big deal. I can really get it exact and really get it perfect. So after I thought about that and decided that, I felt this great sense of relief And I was like, okay, you know what? I think this is the way to move forward. So that's my big decision, my big crochet decision this week. So I wound up my March color, which is really, really pretty. So I'm still very behind, and that's okay. And I started March's square. And I haven't gotten very far because I'm still having a hard time, but I'm feeling much better about it. So this is a crocheted brioche stitch. It doesn't really look like knitted brioche, but it does look really pretty. I don't know if this is the back or the front, so I'll show you the other side too. Isn't this cool? It is time consuming, but it is very neat. And I think I will get better at it and faster at it. So I am happy with this decision. So my plan for right now is I'm actually just going to give this project a break because I think I need a little break from it after kind of pushing through. My goal for June was to finish up February, which I did in my strip, but now I'm changing things and that's okay. So when I get back from my trip, I am going to just work 1 month at a time and 1 square at a time. Even if I have leftover yarn, that's okay. I think I'm just gonna work 1 square at a time, working through each of the months, March, April, May, June, whatever. And when I am, I guess, feeling like it, or maybe once I'm caught up, I will go back and work a second square in each of those months because I should have plenty of yarn. Or maybe I won't, I don't know. Maybe I'll just work 1 square in each of them and then one day eventually I'll have a small blanket, or I just won't even put them together. I'll just have a fun time. I don't know yet. But all in all, just doing this and like deciding that I can do a smaller portion of this makes me excited about this project all over again, if that makes sense. So that's the big decision on this blanket this week, and feeling really good about it, feeling really right about it, and I am going to be excited. I'm already excited. Like I do kind of want to work on it right now, but I'm like, let's work on some other things first, get ready for vacation, and when I come back, it'll be a nice treat to have. Starting to really sweat, so I'm gonna put my hair up because it is clean-ish. Well, it is clean. I washed it last night, and I think I want to keep it that way. So let me get it off of my shoulders. How's that? And I have 2 more projects to show you, 2 more new projects, brand new. So I showed last week some yarn from Addie of Ruby and Roses, and she is doing a collection called, what's it called? Like Flowers Gone Wild, I think. I don't know. I have it in my announcement section. I'll share more then. But I have a mini skein set from her that I want to cast on the Twisted t-shirt by Brianna Lupino. And so I needed a swatch. So I have made a nice big swatch. And if you've seen Tuesday's vlog, you've already seen all of this. But if you want to see me working on this swatch in more detail, go watch Tuesday's vlog. I created kind of this different style of video for me that I was really excited to make, and I edited it myself. So I haven't edited a video fully on my own in a long, long time because Ken's been editing. So it'll be a little bit different. It'll be kind of fun. So I'm using Ruby and Roses, and the mini skein set I use is called Happy Place. It's 8 different colors, and I spent time winding all of them by hand just because I wanted to. I just wanted to like be chill and wind and enjoy the project and just kind of work on it slowly. But then the main skein that I'm using for the contrast for this tee, I wound into a cake with my ball winder, and it is called Wisteria. And it's looking like just one solid color, but it's got little specks of blue in it too, which is really, really pretty. So my goal today is actually to get this cast on. You start at the neck with the contrast color, which is this one, and do twisted rib. It's got twisted rib on the top, the sleeves, and on the bottom. I want to get this started and start the raglan increases and start adding my mini skeins before I get on a plane on Wednesday morning. Today is Sunday, so I should have time to do that. Now, the swatching that I needed to do was for gauge, which I'm glad I did because I actually am going to change my needle size, but also for color order and for color stripe width. So this is not part of the pattern. There are not stripes in the pattern. It's just a 2-color pattern, but I wanted to use my minis to do stripes in the main body. So this is how it came out, which is really fun. It's really different for me, but I do like it a lot. And all of my yarns are still attached because I'm planning to unravel this. I want to have all of the yarn because I just don't know how much I'm going to need. So I didn't want to cut this off. So this is the only time you're going to see the swatch. God, so many bugs. But I did take a picture of it, which is fun. So I started out with 3 row stripes. That was the first part of my swatch. And that is this portion down here. And I thought, you know, I like the 3 row stripes. I don't even think I need to do the 2 row stripes because I like the 3 row stripes. But then I did 2 row stripes and I was like, actually, I like that a lot more. I feel like it's much more blendy and just a few colors stand out, which I think is really, really fun. So I feel like from a distance, this is going to make a really interesting visual for the sweater. So that's what I'm planning to do. And then this will be the outline, the top, the sleeves, or the bottom of the sleeves and the hem. I think it's going to be pretty cool. My other things I'm planning to do with the sweater is I'm going to make it a little bit longer, not as cropped. I'm kind of making it for just a t-shirt that I can throw on with my leggings. So I've measured my favorite t-shirts. So I'm really excited to start this project. It's got a fun cast on. It's got like an Italian twisted rib, which Brianna has a tutorial for on her YouTube channel. So planning to do that today, planning to take this apart. And then I have one more project to show you that was actually born from need, because look at this. Look at the tangle from all this yarn. So let me show you that one next. So this project has no name really. I don't even know if I will share it as a pattern or just keep, I don't really know yet. I'm loosely calling this the mini skein tote because it's kind of like my float totes, but it's for mini skeins. So I have 8 mini skeins that I need to work with and they are getting super, super tangled. And I wanted a project bag where I could have all of the mini skeins sorted, sort of like around this is what I'm thinking. I actually don't know quite yet. You might already know because I might have that in the Tuesday video, we'll see. But basically I couldn't get this idea out of my head of making teeny tiny little buckets for my mini skeins and then an entire project bag around it. So I've started to work on my teeny tiny buckets and I have my like scrap bag of fingering weight yarns that I'm using for it. So basically I just put 2 strands, let's see. This one is actually 2 colors that Kent picked out. So 2 strands of fingering weight yarn held together. I used an F hook and I created a little bucket and a 20-gram mini fits, like just fits. This is a little bigger than 20 grams. It like just fits in here enough that it kind of stays out of the way and you can like pull on it. And then once it gets smaller, it, you know, it rolls around just fine, or at least I think it will. I'll have to test that out. I always have to test out functional patterns before I release them into the world. So I think this is going to be perfect. So I just need to make 8 of these. I have 3 so far. So I have this one. This one I did a self-striping yarn held with a solid, which is very, very fun. And then this one, which I did a sparkly yarn held with a solid, has a little bit of rainbow in it. So these take like 30 minutes to make. They're really fast. So I just need to make a few more of these. And then my plan is to kind of line them all up either in a circle or maybe in kind of an oval shape. And I will make another bag around it. I don't know exactly what yarn I'm going to use. My totes all use the Sugar and Cream Cotton Held Double. So they're a little heavy and a little thick. So having, you know, just 2 strands of fingering weight yarn is basically DK. So that's nice and flexible. So I might just do that. So stay tuned. I'm going to be developing this. Hopefully I will finish it before or close to before my trip. Oh my gosh, there's so many ants right now. It's driving me crazy. I need to like lift my feet up here. Hopefully I'll finish it before my trip, but if not, definitely before the next podcast episode. So I will be sharing that with you. And if it's something that you think you might want to recreate, I guess let me know and maybe I will try to develop it into a pattern. It's been a long time since I've done a pattern, but I'm willing to do it, especially with something like this where I'm so excited about it and I feel like I am fitting a need. Is there a need? Or I'm fitting my need, but is there a need for something that can hold 8 mini skeins? I don't know. Let me know. This is going to be the quickest in our travel segment ever because we haven't been traveling. And I didn't take any pictures this week, like literally no pictures. I think maybe a picture of toaster and that's about it. We've been resting, we've been working, we've been cleaning, we've been getting life stuff done. And that's about it. There are a few highlights from the week. I did take a semi-day off on Wednesday, and I went to Bliss Yarns and hung out for several hours. It was so nice to be there. I got to go on Worldwide Knit in Public Day, which was really fun, but this day there was not as many people there. It was like, you know, weekday afternoon, which was really fun. I got to see my friend Emily. We used to work at Bliss together. And so it was so fun to catch up with her, get to meet some new people. And I really enjoyed that. And I think I was working on my shrug that day. So I got a lot done. I got everyone's opinion on how long to make the shrug. So that was really, really great. That night I went to the Nashville, what do they call themselves? The Nashville Fiber Folk, which is a group of people that meet all around Nashville. It usually leans on a bit of like the younger crowd. So I would say the majority of people are like around my age. So maybe in their 30s or a little older, a little younger, which is a cool thing because that doesn't always happen. I feel like at least in other groups that I'm joining. So I enjoy that. It's like a different dynamic. The group, when I've gone in the past, I try to go whenever I come home to Nashville, but I hadn't been in a while. And when I last went, I think there were maybe like 6 to 10 people. When I showed up, like 15 minutes after it started, like it's a very casual thing. You can kind of come and go. There were like 20 people there. It was a huge group that night, which is really exciting to see. So anyone's welcome to join. If you follow their Nashville Fiber Folk Instagram page, they post every month where their meeting spots will be. This time we met at Fat Bottom Brewery in, I don't know the area of Nashville. I think it's in the Nations, but I don't know Nashville very well, so don't quote me on that. But we did meet at Fat Bottom Brewery, and it was a great time. I got to meet some new people. I got to see some familiar faces. I don't remember what I was working on then. I guess maybe my socks or something. I honestly don't remember. But it was basically a big day of knitting, which was really, really fun. Then on Thursday, Kent and I went to Inside Out. So you know what? I don't think I was working on my socks because I made sure that before we went to see Inside Out, I had my socks just past the toe and ready to go for the foot so I could have some in the dark knitting. And the movie was so good. I actually ended up watching the first Inside Out before we went. I wasn't feeling very well that day, so I was like, you know what? I just need to rest and I'm gonna turn on a movie. And I watched the first Inside Out, and then we went and saw the second Inside Out, popcorn, candy, everything. It was so great. I hadn't been to the movies in a long time, and we love going to the movies. So the movie was great and the experience was really, really good. And then the last exciting thing, I guess, for this week is yesterday we got sushi with my sister-in-law, which was fun. We like going to this place that's like, the sushi is not great, but it's an all-you-can-eat and it has a conveyor belt. So it's always fun to go there. So we went there with her. My brother was out of town, so it was just the 3 of us. And then we went over to her house and filmed our Q&A video. So we had a nice, we were in her office, which is really beautifully decorated and beautifully lit. So it's really nice to do that. That's basically it for this week. Nothing super exciting, just general life stuff. This past week, we had 2 new videos, starting with our newest yarn store tour of Pettifours and Pearls, which premiered on Saturday. So if you are somebody who likes our yarn store tours, we are starting to do them on Saturday with more consistency. It happens at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and we premiere them, which just means the video isn't like the recording of the video isn't live. It's all edited and everything from when we went to the store, but then we can all experience it for the first time together live, and there's a live chat. So I'm there. We talk about our projects. You can ask me questions about the store, just make comments on the store, and it's a good time. It's very, very fun. So come and join us on Saturdays at noon. We'll have another one next week. But this past week, we went to Pettifours and Pearls in Lehi, Utah. It's just south of Salt Lake City, like maybe 40 minutes with traffic south. And it's a wonderful store. It's a yarn store and tea shop. So they have a whole tea room where they do like birthday parties for kids, but also you can go, book for your entire group if you want to go as a family or as a friend group. The food was delicious. They have a baker that bakes right there in the yarn store. So when you come in the yarn store, there is a kitchen, a small kitchen to the left. And then the yarn store is several different rooms. It's I want to say it's like a 100-year-old building. I think we shared that in the video, but it's really, really cool. So we had scones and all kinds of desserts and treats. We had pedophores, of course, and it was amazing. And we had tea, which was really, really good. So Kent and I really enjoyed that. And then, of course, we share the yarn store and we get to meet the co-owners, Camara and Katie. Katie is also a pattern designer. Anyway, really fantastic store. If you're in the area or ever traveling to Salt Lake City, it's worth taking the time to go hang out with them. We got to, on that day when we filmed all morning and then we actually stayed and hung out in the afternoon, which is just the best kind of day. So go and watch that tour. It's a really, really good one. And then on Tuesday is the video where I just share, I'm calling it like a cast on vlog. I haven't done a project vlog quite like that in a while. So I'm curious to hear if you liked it, if you want to see more videos like that. It was fun to film and edit and everything. And then coming up this next Saturday will be, I believe, 3 Loves in Idaho. No Tuesday video. And our podcast, instead of a podcast next week, it will be the Q&A with myself and Kent. It should be pretty long. Oh, that was a really big ant. Oh my gosh. Why? I'm just going to sit like this. It will be probably about an hour long. So it'll be a good replacement for the podcast. All right. Make along news. I have a winner for our book giveaway. So in the Lamb Spun yarn store tour video, we're giving away one of these books, and it's signed by Mimi, the shop owner. Not the author, but Mimi is, she inspired one of the characters in this book. I love this series so much. If you hear me talk about the Knitting Murder Mystery series, that's the one that I am talking about. So we picked a winner. I just picked randomly from the comments, and I asked everyone to share what they would bring to the Lamb Spun potluck, because at Lamb Spun, they do a potluck once a week. People bring in food. It's really, really cool. We didn't get to stay for one of those because it was on a different day than when we filmed, but I would love to go back to Fort Collins and get to do that. So the winner of the book is Melissa Bell 1806. And you said you would bring homemade bacon mac and cheese. Sounds really amazing. I love mac and cheese and I love bacon. Melissa, if you'll send me an email, nittynatty@gmail.com, and just share with me your full name and address, I will get this book mailed out to you, and I hope that you enjoy. And thank you everyone for sharing all of those comments and sharing all of the delicious things that you would make. Okay, Sock Week is coming up. The biggest news for Sock Week right now is that I am so close to releasing all of the events. Hopefully, actually by the time this video goes up, I've already sent out the information to everyone that's on our email list. But I am going to be putting Sock Week events on sale June 28th. Yeah, Friday, June 28th. The Sock Week events package is going on sale. So we have several options again this year. Sorry about that. Little cough attack. Got some water, all good. Okay, Sock Week events package. We have several options again this year. I have added back on the most affordable Discord only option because I had some requests for that, and I am happy to accommodate. I think that's a really great idea. So for $5, you can join our Discord, which is just a fun community place to be. It's just a place where we can share sock photos. I will have a place where you can ask questions if you need help with your socks. It's just a fun place of encouragement. I'm also going to be running sort of a mini pre-make along where we encourage each other to knit the first of our pair of socks, knit or crochet the first sock prior to Sock Week. So we'll be kind of running like a second Sock Week, or what do I want to call it? A Sock Week. I think I have this written down somewhere, but like a Sock Week training week before Sock Week. So it'll be like Sock Week, training week, kind of a week off, and then actual Sock Week. So if you want to join that, that will be super, super fun. And then the next level is really like the main heart of the Sock Week events package, and it is the events package. It's going to be $25. I was able to make it a little bit more affordable this year because just with the way that everything came together. So I was able to kind of pass that price difference onto all of you. So for $25, you get the Discord package and you get all of these events. There's going to be 5 events, and I will be sharing more once I have everything finalized. I don't want to share yet until I have everyone scheduled and I've paid them and everything, but we have some special guests coming on. Kent and I will be running several of them. We're planning a cast-on party, a game night, and then the other things are relying on other people, so I want to hold off on sharing those. But if you are on the email list, you might have gotten it already. So the events package will go on sale June 28th, Friday, June 28th, and it will be available all the way up until Sock Week begins on July 21st. However, as soon as you join, you get access to Discord. So the earlier you join, the more you get to take advantage of the Discord space. So that's kind of up to you whenever works in your budget to join us. It's very flexible, but also the earlier you join, the more you get out of it. And then Sock Week patterns will be going on sale on Monday, July 1st. We have 2 patterns coming out, and I will share more on that on my Instagram as we get closer. All right, last thing here is we're going to go through all of the events. And I'm still taking more events. If you email me the events, that works so much better because I just have all the information in one place and I can pull it up on my computer and I can add it into my notes. Okay, the Slow Yarn Crawl PNW is happening in Washington and Oregon, May 24th through September 2nd. The Cowboy Yarn Crawl is in Wyoming, May 27th through September 2nd. Ruby and Roses Flowers Gone Wild collection pre-order opens on June 29th. The Utah Yarn Crawl is happening July 13th through the 20th. Arkansas Yarn Crawl July 19th through the 27th. The Chicago Yarn Crawl July 20th through the 28th. Sock Week is happening July 21st to the 28th. The Steel Valley Yarn Crawl is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, July 26th through August 4th. The Michigan Fiber Festival is in Allegan County. I don't know if I'm saying that right. August 14th through the 18th. The Boston Fiber Festival is at the SoWa Market on September 8th. The Sierra Nevada Yarn Crawl is in California and Nevada, kind of in the Lake Tahoe area, September 12th through the 15th. Lambtown is in Dixon, California, October 5th and 6th. And the New York Sheep and Wool Festival is in Rhinebeck, New York, October 19th and 20th. So many things coming up. All right, everyone, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.